Hello! Today I would really like to explore the practice of self-mentoring. To recapture, I've been talking about the different practices of mentoring and then executive coaching, and this week I would like to discuss self-mentoring. Self-mentoring is a different style of this practice, where in mentoring and executive coaching, it's more of a relationship between two people or a counseling session between two people where you have like a mentor or mentee or coach or coachee. Self-mentoring is a self-led practice. This practice is used for a person who finds themselves in an unfamiliar working environment or an unfamiliar, difficult working situation in which that person, that individual, becomes reliant on themselves to kind of lead and navigate through this unfamiliar, uncharted territory that they haven't been in before. And through this process, there's actually 4 stages that this person will encounter, and overall, this process will inevitably enhance this person's overall personal growth and development, but it also enhances their job performance and overall career expansion. There are 4 stages to self-mentoring that each person that enters into a self-mentoring practice to help them navigate through these situations, they will enter into these 4 stages. So we have first the self-awareness, and then you move into the self-discovery stage, then to the self-reflection, and then on to self-mentoring. Or self-monitoring. I'm getting stuck on my self-mentoring. But it's within these stages that a person is really able to kind of take a step back. So that self-awareness stage is where a person is able to take a step back, become aware of themselves, the capacities they withhold in their environment, and they look out into their environment and are able to begin assessing which things that they can change and which things they cannot. And through that process, they'll move into self-discovery. And then that is a stage where they're going to begin formalizing a plan as to, okay, I've been made aware of my current situation, my current avenues to make effective change, or whatever the situation may be. The self-discovery is going to be moving a little bit further into that and formalizing a plan to help this person really navigate this situation. And then through that, as the plan has been in place, they're going to transition into the self-reflection phase as they've begun enacting this plan. And this self-reflection will be a stage in which that person will look at where they've started, what they become aware of, what plans they have formulated, and how effectively, this is the reflection part, they have moved through and sticking to their plan. This self-reflection stage is also an avenue for the person to go and network with other colleagues or other professionals within their field to kind of gain some feedback and insight and some perhaps light to their situation, where they're not meeting with this person one-on-one to be guided by this person. It's mere conversation to have with another and to kind of just have a sounding board with one another, to hold an open conversation. And then that person is able to take that conversation and it really allow it to take root in the context in which they can allow it to enhance their plan and help them move through it to the final stages. And then they will enter into that self-mentoring stage, where that's kind of more of a managerial stage, where that person is kind of, been through the 4 stages of the self-mentoring, or the first 3 stages of the self-mentoring process. And then the self-monitoring is to make sure that you're adhering to all of the plan, you've done well, you're keeping yourself in check as far as being able to contribute in the means that you can, providing the environment in which you're working in. All of this is a process in developing into a leader, into a strong, effective leader. These stages result in overall personal self-development, but it actually enhances job performance as well as career progression for any individual who engages in self-mentoring practices. And I have read a research article with Dr. Carr where she did a 2-year, 2 different population study in southeastern North Carolina schools where it evaluated self-mentoring practices with teachers, whether it be within their classroom or outside of their classroom. And all in all, what the results yielded was that the self-mentoring practices were very effective for the goals that each teachers had set out to reach for themselves over the course of 1 year. So I myself am looking forward into researching more about the self-mentoring practice to best understand it in the many forms that it can take, so I can use that for myself and also educate others about this type of practice and encourage them to use this in situations where they might find themselves to be the most effective means in order to move forward. Thank you guys, and I hope you enjoyed.